All right, I got an idea. It's time for you to hear it. Um, I'm gonna eat soup while I do this because I'm really hungry and I just can't perform unless I'm eating. So you might hear some slurps, and I'm not sorry about it. Um, okay, hold on. I'm gonna start with this. Oh my God, I got a huge potato in here. It's amazing. Mm, try try Mama Lea's Chef Dan vegetable soup. Really good. It's like $5, so it's a cheap lunch. It fills you up, and then you get skinny, which I'm trying to do right now. Okay, last slurp. That was a good one. All right, two people that I know died this week. My aunt died yesterday, and uh, a family friend for a long time, Risa Levy, passed away. She was 45. She had three kids. Her middle child, Elon, 14, has been in my son's Judah's class since they were four. Kind of rocked the community. And my aunt, unfortunately, had an aneurysm and just, I guess, never woke up. She was 65, I believe. 65 or 66. Anyway, so I lost a couple people this week and got me thinking about some stuff. So I'm just going to talk about it. There's a statement that says when Israelis lose someone, they say "Mishtatef b'tzarcha" or "tzarchem." We participate in your sorrow or in your grief, which is, I think, much nicer than "I'm sorry for your loss." But there's also another saying that they say, which is they say "Tenucham ma'ashamayim," right? So you should be comforted from Shemaim. Now I was thinking about it that the only thing that you could really do when things are shitty is just think about, that you have faith and that you have bitachon and that Hashem did it for a good reason. But that's not really so readily available to me right now. Even though I know that as a fact, I I do um, I do think it's hard to see sometimes. But also, what was I saying? Did I lose my train of thought? Oh my gosh. I'm going to have another slurp of soup and then I'm going to go right back to it because the soup is going to fix me up. I don't understand why people give you a hard time, like give me a hard time about slurping soup because, like, you burn the crap out of your like whole palate and mouth if you just like put the whole. I'm going to try it and put the whole thing in my mouth. I don't know. I didn't get burnt, so I'm wrong about that theory, but it's not as good as I thought. It tastes better when you slurp it. Anyway, so it says to Nuchem Hashemayim that Hashem should comfort you. Now, Hashem comforting you is really something that's in your mind, because last I checked, I have no way to be able to tell if any of my comfort that I'm getting is coming from Hashem, because I don't have a way to feel Hashem actively doing things in my life or not. And the only comfort I have can come from my own innate belief that Hashem is with me, that I've studied enough Torah to know that Hashem does everything for a reason, even if I can't see it. And, oh, some dude's waiting for me. And I scheduled a meeting, but then I got inspired. So I'm telling him I need 30 minutes. Okay, back to action. This is like super tangenty, but if you're still here, my 5 friends who watch, hopefully this is entertaining you enough to pay attention and you're on like 3.5x speed. And by the way, don't watch me on half x speed because then I look like I'm like literally special. Okay. So anyway, I have no way to tell if Hashem is watching me or comforting me, or if you're the mourner, the family of Risa, my family, my cousins in Israel, my dad who lost his sister. I don't know how to tell if Hashem is comforting them. Like, may you be comforted among the mourners of Zion. Like, that's what we say to them. Like, that's cool. And then I started thinking about it that the only way to really be comforted without time, obviously, is other people. People are who comfort you. when things are shitty. Good friends, family, rabbis, whoever it is that's in your life that wants to make you feel better, just being there. I mean, look at what Shiva is, right? And yeah, Yankel, I'm looking down, but I'm eating my soup, so shut up. People come and sit with you at Shiva, and they're just telling stories, and yeah, it might make you feel good to hear a story about your loved one, something fun that they did or how great they were or whatever. But all that happens in a Shiva, besides for a ridiculous amount of baked goods, is that just people are around you. And yeah, you might daven in there, and maybe the soul of your loved one watches over Shiva the whole time. But it's really just people. Like, I don't see Hashem in a Shiva house. Maybe spiritually he's there, but it's not something we could feel. So this concept of, you should be comforted from Shemaim among the mourners of Israel or Zion, and that, that's just not so tangible. What is tangible is sharing in your sorrow, sharing in your grief. Now, I don't expect other people to be sad about my aunt dying. Like, they could be really sorry and they could be nice about it, but that doesn't change that she's gone. It doesn't make it any easier for me. And same thing with Risa. I mean, Risa was an amazing woman, and doesn't bring, talking about how amazing she is doesn't bring back, a mother to her kids or a wife to her husband. And I just know that there has to be comfort from somewhere. And I know that the Torah is not wrong because everything in the Torah is true. So if there is comfort, and it's not just with death, right? Like, comfort could be in anything. I'm giving you lines specifically about death because that's where you use it. But people go through depression. People have all sorts of issues. And that was a big ass potato. People have all sorts of things, and they just need support. And support is what helps people get through things. Knowing that you're not alone, knowing that people are there for you, even if they just show up. I mean, you're not even allowed to talk to the mourner when you walk into a Shiva house until they talk to you. Like, how could you possibly comfort a person when you're not even allowed to talk to them until they say something to you? And I realized that these things don't negate each other. Hashem being the comforter, the one who provides comfort, doesn't change the fact that, and him you not feeling him doesn't mean that he's not comforting you, or that you should put your comfort in people. They actually really work together. And I know I talked about this in Avos Yisrael, the podcast about your vision not being the same as someone else's, and you can perceive things differently. I just realized that the comfort comes from people. And how is it possible that Hashem's comforting you, but you don't feel him? But the comfort that you get is coming from people, and that's not where you say that the comfort is going to come from. Well, every single Jewish person is a part of God, a piece of godliness, and that person's soul is a piece of true godliness. And so, the same way they say that anyone can be Eliyahu Navi at the time, just sort of fitting a role or a purpose in a certain situation. I think when you're in a room full of other Jewish people, you actually are being comforted by Hashem, because there's a bunch of small pieces of godliness, of actual godliness, that are surrounding you. And I think it's just a beautiful thought. Like, the people who are around there for you, yes, they choose to step up and be there for you. But at the same time, Hashem places a piece of himself as the visitors of every Shiva house. When stuff goes wrong and another Jew is there for you, whether it's tzedakah or support or just advice or whatever, just someone to cry with, you have other Jews who are there, and those Jews are a piece of godliness. And by just having a minyan in a place like that, or just having one more person, Hashem is actually saying to us, guys, I'm gifting you comfort from Shemaim. because I am Shemaim and a piece of me rests within a piece of you. And that just gives us a crazy amount of power. I mean, I know that people who have lost other people have told me before that they really notice every single person that comes to the Shiva house, and they appreciate every person that comes to Shiva. And they always remember who doesn't come, but that the people who do come, it means so much to them. And I think that the reason is because whether we realize it or not, we all feel this supernatural connection. You could be on the other side of the world and you bump into a Jew who doesn't speak your language, but among strangers, you just feel like you're home. Like, I found myself in someone else. I found another Jew that feels like me. I know I went to Paris, got off the plane. I was told to hide my Judaism. I find some code off a website and find some shul. Before I know it, I'm surrounded by a bunch of French guys. Only one of them speaks Hebrew. But I just davened with them, and I felt like I was home, like I'm safe. So I just want to say that the soup is so good. That's the main thing that I want to say. But also, we really have a great responsibility, and we don't realize that we're actually a part of godliness at all times. And that the fact that we are allows us to be so much more effective and powerful in what we do as it relates to other people. If you knew that you were holding God's medicine, God's comfort when someone else was hurting, how could you get stuck holding the bag and never delivering? All right, I feel like being done. That's the end of it.